Well, I think both of these sides, I know North have virtually made this their own, and Essendon, when I look around this Marvel Stadium now and see the amount of red and black, I think would be very keen.
They'll outnumber the Roos, don't worry, even though it's the Roos home game. But it's fantastic, Pickers, to see that it's a chock-a-block.
Oh, absolutely it is. This is a great ground when there's a full house and the roof is closed. Terrific atmosphere at this ground. We were here obviously for the Big Bash Grand Final where the Melbourne Renegades, of course, were the champions.
The Stars choked.
Stars choked, yeah, and it was a great atmosphere that day as well. 2 Melbourne teams, and these are both tenants of this ground, so they know the ground, they play the ground quite regularly, so no surprise that there's going to be a big crowd, and on a day which is great outside too, even though the roof's closed in here. I mean, it's much better for the spectators' point of view to be able to actually see the players.
You don't remember, Sandy, over the years, many home and away games, but I remember coming here when we had in the Channel 10 days when St Kilda were flying and the Brisbane Lions were flying. They played here on a Saturday night. Early 2000s, and it was a chock-a-block. The roof was closed. It was one of the most memorable home and away games as I said, I remember, because the atmosphere was unbelievable. The roof was closed.
Well, the atmosphere's locked in,
shakes.
Isn't it? It's fantastic.
I remember a similar game. It was St Kilda and Geelong in 2009.
Is that the Gardner Mark?
The Gardner Mark, full house. Again, a twilight game. I've been calling a match up in Sydney with Spud Frawley. And it was getting pretty willing as we were wrapping up our game, which was as boring as, and about to go and have a couple of beers and watch the Saints game. They got away to a flyer, but same sort of thing. It was both sides undefeated about round 11 or 12. Yeah, it was a fantastic game.
Well, a huge game for North, having lost their first 3 games, and they're starting behind the 8 ball to get back as they begin to claw their way towards the top 8. But a win here for Essendon would see them, after losing their first 2, move into the 8. So a big game for both sides, even though it is only round 5. If you have just joined us, we can mention the changes again. Danaher is the big news. Wasn't going to play. We were told that he would be in the VFL, but it has since been reported that Clark has suffered a bleeding injury and has withdrawn from the Essendon lineup. So the door opened for Joe Danaher.
A fine, Sandy, at least $10,000. You'd like to see that donated to the Royal Children's as well, wouldn't you?
Most certainly, yes. And good luck to Braden Ham, a young man from the Geelong Falcons who gets his chance to come into the lineup, and we wish him well playing his first game. Pickers, your selection and why?
Look, I've gone against the popular belief that Essendon are just rolling into some great form, which I think they are. They're in good form, but against the belief that they're just going to stroll through this game as the red-hot favourites and win quite comfortably. I think North Melbourne can upset them this afternoon, and I say that for a number of reasons. I think they match up quite well as a general rule against the Bombers. Both sides evenly matched. I think North Melbourne's more settled forward line might be the difference between the two sides, and I think they have got a little bit more depth in the midfield. So I'm going to tip an upset, North Melbourne by 10 points.
And Pickers, I'm just having a look at North Melbourne going through their Ream warm-up. Install a Ream, Australia's #1 in hot water, and they're looking very sharp. And one of the features of their game last week against Adelaide was the commitment and the passion. I mean, they had that manic pressure back, which they didn't show in the first couple of weeks.
No, that's right. They got away to a horrible start this year in the state, and then they've been chasing their tail a little bit ever since. But they had been working towards that win. Got jumped early last week. They want to start a lot better today. A couple of real tough, hard players inside their inside mids. And you talk of Ben Cunnington, who is a terrific player. Yeah. He really is. He sets up so many opportunities. And Jed Anderson, who is he's a wrecking machine in there. If you watch the way he can attack the man with the ball.
He made a difference last week, didn't he?
Made a huge difference because his frontal pressure is elite. It's probably the best in the AFL. He runs at players and steamrolls them. As I said, he is a one-man wrecking machine internally. So you look at him in close today and see the damage he can do.
Quarters, I'm just looking at Essendon now, going through their Ream warm-up. Australia's #1. Your selection and why?
I tipped the Bombers, but I've changed my mind, Sandy, which is fraught with danger.
Why? Because Danaher's come in.
I just like now there's no Zaharakis and no Smith. I'm believe it or not, Pickers and I are agreeing for once.
Oh, it's very rare.
I'm changing my tip, which is fraught with danger. I'm changing to the Kangaroos, which means the Bombers are a certainty, Sandy.
Don't dark cloud my tip by coming on board.
What about you?
Well, I saw North last week beat Adelaide, but I don't know what sort of a measuring stick you could use Adelaide as.
You weren't that impressed, let's be honest, because you were very unimpressed with the Crows.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was. So that's why I think it makes it rather difficult to gauge. But I'll stick with the Bombers. Despite the loss of those 2 runners, I still think they can get the job done. But I hope we see a game like the one that we saw when they last met in 2018, when it was a shootout, and I think the eventual margin was 17 points. So it was nip and tuck all day long.
What do you make of the rucks, Bell Chambers versus Goldstein, who said this morning he wants to play for another 5 years?
Wow.
Good on him.
When I saw that, wow. I want to be a millionaire too, but, sometimes you can't get what you want in life. I'd love to win Tats Lotto.
You can't always get what you want, Mick Jagger said, didn't he?
Correct. Good on him, but 5 years is a long time, Gold. He's 30 now, isn't he?
He is. Yes, he is. Yeah.
He has hit some really good form, so good luck to him. So,
how do you see the ruck between those two today?
I think Goldie's in better form.
Yeah.
I think Goldie will play really well today. Yeah, I do.
Let's go down to the boundary, keeping an eye on everything this afternoon for Spitwater High Pressure Cleaners, our very own Mitch Cleary. Welcome, Mitch.
Thanks, Sandy. Joe Danaher's just taken the long sleeve off. He trained and warmed up with it before the game. They're packing in, hopefully 45,000 plus down here. I think the grass is in as good as condition as I've seen it this season so far. The starting benches for the Bombers: Darcy Parish, Jordan Ridley, David Myers and Matt Guelphy. For the Roos, Luke Davies-Uniacke, Paul Ahern, Bailey Scott and Sam Wright for his first game of 2019.
Good on you, Mitch. Thanks for that. And our thanks to Spitwater High Pressure Cleaners, who have done a fantastic job on the boundary. Toss of the coin is taking place as we speak. It's been won by Essendon, kicking to the Coventry end, I believe, here at Marvel Stadium. That is to the right of your radio dial. So that means that Kangaroos going to the Lockett end.
And you've got a young lad there, Sandy, tossing the coin. I'd say be no older than 3. And he did a ripping job.
Yeah,
and he's very happy with himself. It looks he's got a big Royal Children's T-shirt on.
He's sprinting off like Usain Bolt.
Great to see.
He just slapped a bit of skin on Dyson Heppel, gave him a high 5. So, which is a low 5 because he's only a little fella.
By the way, the umpires today: Sam Hayes, Simon Meredith, one of the best in the business, and Robert Finlay. As the players take their respective positions, if you've just tuned in and you haven't heard the news, Joe Danaher is playing for the Bombers this afternoon. A late in for Zach Clark, and David Zaharakis is also out for the Bombers. Coming in, first game of Braden Ham from the Geelong Falcons, and North Melbourne as selected.
Opening bounce for Tyre Power. Massive Easter Sale Catalog online now is not far away. Crowd starting to really buzz. Expecting a crowd of probably around 43,000, would you say, Pickers?
I think that's where it'll be today, yeah, at the very minimum, to be honest, Sandy. I think it might even be a fraction more than that. And straight away, it's Carl Hook has gone straight to the defensive goal square there, so that's interesting, straight to Ben Brown. So it wasn't the matchup I expected.
Already 42,000 in, Sandy, according to the officials here.
That is great news, isn't it? Pittard's got the job on McDonald, Tip and Woody. It's the Bombers going to the right, and setting himself as big Tom Bell Chambers up against Todd Goldstein. Perfect bounce to get us underway. Won by Bell Chambers. Out he goes to Shield, who gets a hurried high ball up towards the half-forward line. A lot of holding on Fantasia, but play goes on. There is Danaher, almost threw the ball out. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to go the way of Essendon.
And Brown ditched Danaher in the turf, and Danaher threw a little elbow back too. So welcome back to league footy, Joe Danaher.
So Orazio Fantasia, as Pickers suggested, may just be the one to break through for a bag this afternoon. Has a set shot, 45-degree angle, 45 metres from home. This for the first score of the match. Kicking into a sea of red and black. Fantasia begins his approach, starts it right, it's coming back, and he sneaks it home. It almost shaved the post, but it didn't, and that's all that mattered. And that's the first score on the board going the way of the Bombers, and also Orazio Fantasia. Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard. Essendon 1 straight. North Melbourne yet to score.
Yeah, perfect start there by the Bombers. Well done. It was the pace of Orazio Fantasia really worried Jamie McMillan in the end. He gave away a hole. The hole was there. You couldn't disagree with the free kick. Also, Joe Danaher, just when the ball went over Fantasia's head.
Scotty Thompson.
Yeah, he attacked the ball really hard, Joe, and was wrapped up by Thompson, and then Did throw his arm back, but there was no connection there, so it was all good there. Nice centre clearance by the Bombers, though. Good start.
Yeah, it was from Bell Chambers to Shield. It was very clean in the middle. So the Bombers didn't waste much time. A goal in the opening minute. AFL Nation for Maccas. Down it goes again in the middle. Bell Chambers again timed his jump better, tapped it in the direction of Merritt, who got met by Wood, a fair hip and shoulder. Cunnington got the ball, handball to Anderson, got it to Pollock. Pollock gives it back to Anderson, still in the centre square. Again back to Pollock, who switches to the Medallion Club side, out in front of Pittard, who waits for it to bounce, does so now. Handballs to Goldstein, handballs backwards to Dumont, who goes short, and he finds Pittard at half forward at the moment, about 75 from goal. Goldstein's by himself inside 50, takes the uncontested mark as easy as you like, and big goalie will line up on a 45-degree angle, 50 metres out from goal. That is bad checking from Tom Bell Chambers.
I'll tell you what it also was, bad checking from McDonald, Tip and Woody. He allowed Jasper Pittard there 3 possessions by not running with him when he pushed forward.
Kicking to left of your dial, or the locket end, is Todd Goldstein from 50 metres out. Drop punt on its way, and it fades away to the left for 1 behind. So the Bombers 1 goal. The Kangaroos are 1 behind on the Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard. 2.5 gone first term.
Shield tucked in the back pocket. This goes short to McKenna and remains in the pocket. Roof closed. Full house, as we've said, over 42,000 here at the moment, and still growing, so that's really good news. Sard loves to run normally. Gets onto that left foot, looks towards his skipper, Heppel, receiving a little bit of attention, but controls the footy. Drifts play to Bell Chambers, who's in the middle alone. Now he's got the runners out wide and he uses them. This is Redmond, one of the youngsters coming into the lineup, and Jakey boy, Stringer has it.
Turned his back on play.
He's a confident young man. He kicked 1 goal 4 last week, so he'll be keen to make amends in the kicking department.
He was doing a little bit of carry on last year when these teams met, actually. After he kicked, I think, 4th, his 4th goal is lining up, giving a little bit of lip to the North players. So I don't think there's a lot of love lost with those guys.
Okay.
I think he's been chatting to Ben Brown about his approach, because he's 30 metres away from the man on the mark. He's coming in now from 53 metres. The drop punt has pulled to the left, trying to obtain just a little more distance, and through for 1 behind. Bombers' first blemish on the scoreboard, 1 goal 1, leading the Roos by 1 straight kick.
It's frustrating when a player turns his back like that. He's 55 metres out.
Thompson goes right up the guts with a 55, 60-metre drop punt. And Cunnington got run down just as it looked like he was going to get away. That's a ripping tackle. Who was at the bottom of that pack? It was Stringer. Well done by Jake Stringer. Ran down Cunnington and prevented Roos, who were off to the races there. So we got a stoppage in the middle of the ground. Bell Chambers to tap, taken by Cunnington. Quick hands to Higgins, who got it off to Hall. He's tackled by McDonald, Tipperwoody, and McDonald Tipperwoody is rewarded with a holding the ball decision. So he's got the ball inside the centre square for the Bombers.
They're a bit too close at the coalface here, the North players. They're handballing 1 metre.
He kicks to Danaher and takes the mark. Good lead from Danaher. Beautifully weighted kick from McDonald, Tipperwoody, and Joe Danaher will line up for goal. 45 metres out, slight angle at the Coventry or Southern end. And let's see what he's going to produce kick-wise. Liam Pickering.
Well, you never know it, Joe.
Got to kick a drop punt from here.
Yeah, well, you'd think so. Well, if he turns around the corner, he won't make the distance. But anyway, it's a big chance for him to get a good start. It was a nice lead, a beautiful kick by McDonald.
Great to see him back in AFL football. Danaher from 49 metres out has missed to the right. Big build-up, Sandy. Not much return. Bombers 1-2. North Melbourne 1 behind.
Silence behind the goals. They could see it sailing to the right. Kick back into play. Cunnington was the target. Spoilt by Parrish. An opportunity for Merritt. Trust tried to flick it across to Parrish. That didn't work. Now they've got a chance to good work by Atley to Pittard. In towards centre wing, chopped off by Heppel.
That was a very high-risk kick.
Heppel swings around now. Onto the left he goes. In towards half forward. Some pushing and shoving. Down goes Brown. Away goes Thompson to the outer side. They're out of trouble. Chance now for Pollock. He's in trouble too. He's got him. And that's the Orazio. Fantasia plays on quickly. Across to McGrath. Goes inboard.
Brilliant.
And it's another sensational tackle.
Anderson.
That's Anderson.
That was a ripper.
He's a wrecking ball.
Here's a tiger, isn't he?
He is one of the hardest body players in the game, Jed Anderson. That was brilliant. All fair. Bang.
Goldstein couldn't take it cleanly. Davies-Uniacke lost it. Bell Chambers just tried to paddle it forward. No one to take it away at the moment as the pack develops, and we'll have another stoppage. Stoppage just forward of the wing for North Melbourne in attack, and they trail by 7 points. Early on, almost 7 minutes gone in this first quarter on the Kubota drive time sale clock.
From the bounce, it's picked up by Parrish, kicks to the wing, city side of the ground. Ball spills free. Parrish has another crack at it. Good pick up under pressure, but his handball smothered by Anderson, who did brilliantly to get it to Thompson, who measures the kick short, couldn't find a target. But beautifully whipped off by Ahern, who has a bounce. He lines up, he runs to 40 metres out, and he kicks a poster. Beautifully played, but just couldn't quite finish off his work, and it's a behind the Kangaroos. Essendon play on, and the handball from Hurley missed the target. It's gone over the line for a throw-in.
Gee. Sloppy.
Oh, it was a kick. Sorry, it was a kick, a very sloppy kick. So we have a throw-in, 45 out now from North Melbourne's goal. It's the Bombers 1-2, the Kangaroos 2 behind.
Great opportunity for the Kangas quarters. Well, they've got it in the vicinity, but Parrish has started well. Tarrant's got his eye on this, and he takes a fine mark in opposition to Danaher. Tarrant swings around now. The drop punt is meant for Benny Brown, but he's got plenty of opposition. Bell Chambers was a high flyer, pushed wide to the outer side. Ridley could be first to it. Now he needs support, and he's got it. Ridley paddles the ball along in front. McGrath is there to assist as well. Close to the boundary line. Still kept in play, but it's a free kick. And it will come back.
Yeah, too high, I think.
Hooker.
Yeah, it was a free, it was there.
Good game last week, 23 disposals.
Good interchange this, Sandy.
Yeah, Heppel. There's your mate, Quarters. Built like a stick insect. But good luck to him, Ham, playing his first game. Didn't get it on that occasion. In towards the middle, Brown. He's been really effective. Goes into the middle. That's okay. Bell Chambers. Almost like a policeman there in the middle. The pace of McKenna is good. And the Bombers looking pickers very sharp at the moment.
Yeah, their run off halfback, we've spoken about that. North will be trying to quell that.
Here goes Fantasia. 49 metres to the left again. Another opportunity going begging. 1 goal, 3-9 to North Melbourne's 2 behinds. That is on the Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard.
So Tarrant to do the kicking in again. The Kangaroos go up the middle, and it's come off very nicely. Marked by Ahern. He's just outside his own defensive 50. Dishes off to Dumont, who just kicks in the nip of time and did well. He weighted the ball well, and the mark's taken by Zurha. He wastes no time. He goes the long ball inside 50, and that's a ripping mark. Beautiful mark taken in front for the Kangaroos by guess who, the man we were talking about before the game in Mason Wood. And he will line up directly in front. Liam Pickering, only 20 metres out, and that was a solid mark.
And it was the right kick inside the forward 52. He didn't go the short one to Zeeble. He went the long one. Got a one-on-one and a mismatch there with Sard. Mason Wood too tall. It's too tall, and now he needs to finish off his work.
A solid Glenn Cameron group can-do mark of the day. Wood. We talked about his kicking too, and that's the thing that lets him down. He can get his hands on the footy. He's missed directly in front, 20 out. That is a very disappointing miss for the Kangaroos.
A horrible miss.
Yeah, just didn't look a pretty kick, did it? I mean, everything about it looked wrong. There's great work by Benny Brown. A ripping tackle, and the Kangas get the opportunity of going forward once again. A hip pocket workwear and safety tackle of the day. In towards the pocket and off hands, and we've got a throw in. Jack Zeeble not too happy with the way that ball was delivered to him, and he lets his big forward know. So a throw in. Kangas in attack. Right forward pocket. Bell Chambers up against Benny Brown. Bell Chambers plucks it out of the air. Swings around. Kicks back towards Brown, who's almost in the middle for the Bombers. Now they got some run going here. Where's McDonald tipping Woody? It's Fantasia who goes down towards the forward line. The race is on. Bagley is the man for the Bombers. Got to get the hand pass away. Gives a little bit of ground. May go to the youngster Ham. He does. He's 55 from home. Spearing the pass that is marked by McGrath. Well done by Braden Ham.
Yeah, very good.
That'll do his confidence the world of good, Pickers.
He's had a couple of touches since he's come on.
Yep.
Old green eggs.
Goldstein got a heavy hit in the middle too, Sandy. He's a little bit worse for wear. Trainer's out to him.
That's a Zeus up to Zeus one for you, Quarters. Should have had when your kids were young.
Here we go. Let's stick with Andrew McGrath. Game number 46 from 47 metres out.
Jeez,
Drop punt is a beauty. That is a beauty. And the Bombers get their second. Checking the Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard, Essendon 2-3-15, North Melbourne 3 behinds on the Kubota drive time sale clock. We've played almost 12 minutes.
That's green eggs and ham. Oh, mate, by the way, it's Dr. Zeus one.
That's it.
Andrew McGrath, he is a fabulous player. Really like him. Well done, the young ham. Terrific. Bombers' speed really looks like it's going to be a worry for North Melbourne this afternoon. They have seriously broken hard through the middle of the ground, and once they get goal side with the speed of Bagley and Fantasia, McDonald, Tip and Morty and these types, McKenna and Sard, they've got some speedsters.
Look who's in the ruck for Essendon, Liam Pickering.
It's Joe Danaher against Big Goldie.
So Goldstein's okay after that knock in the marking contest, and Danaher to contest the ruck.
Not a bad thing, Ed. Not a bad move.
Get him into the game. Essendon 2-3-15. The Kangaroos 3 behinds. Goldstein the tap. McDonald, Tip and Woody sharks it. He's tackled it. Beautifully tackled by Goldstein, and it's a free kick for holding the ball. Well done to the big ruckman.
You love it when ruckmen fill up their own work, and that was well done by Goldstein. Started well, Big Goldie.
Right in the middle of Marvel Stadium. He's going to be forced to kick long. He does just that. His target is Brown, who sets himself, can't quite take the mark. Taking it to Zeeble, spills to Wood, and he's missed again from 10 metres out. He dribble kicked instead of drop punting, and he's missed from 10 metres out, Mason Wood.
He could be in trouble.
God, Kangaroos 4 behind, Essendon 2-3-15 on the Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard.
Gee, that's a bad miss. 2 in a row, fair dinkum.
So 4 behinds on the board. They've certainly had their opportunities. Tarrant to send North back inside 50 once again. Gee, they're focusing a lot on Brown. Is there a tendency to go Brown happy?
Too hard, too many times they give it to him every time they're going in.
Well, they've still got possession. Dumont, if he gets a kind bounce, he does. But the kick is partly smothered. Bombers have got the numbers, but they need players running wide. Perhaps McDonald tipping Woody can provide a source. He does now. He's going to be first to the footy. He marks on centre wing. In front of McMillan. Goes in towards the middle. Kick had to be well weighted, and it was an absolute beauty to Myers. Myers goes long and direct. Stringer's his man, and well spoilt by Tarrant. Pokes it down. Now the Kangas through Thompson. Takes the hand pass. Tends to clear wide. Goes to Cunnington.
They work that well, the Roos, as Cunnington goes out wide to Brown, who gets it on the half volley. Steadies, and on the right boot pops up the pass. That's a good one too. The mark's taken by Turner on the City side of the ground wing position. Kangaroos going left of your dial, or the northern end in this first quarter. They're 4 behinds. Essendon 2-3-15. 14 and a half gone. Kangaroos drive it forward again. Inside 50. Zeeble in front, can't mark. Fall of the ball is Ridley. He's run down. Mopped up by Hurley. Hurried left foot kick back to the wing. Stringer, too strong there. Kept his feet against right and has awarded the free kick.
He did well there. He had 2 players in the vicinity and he was able to get the ball still.
Takes a bit of time because he needs Bagley and co to get down into the forward line, and it was Bagley who flew 3 or 4 minutes a little too prematurely. Kangas should be able to clear through Pittard, who's tucked in a pocket.
Dear.
Short, now short again.
Making hard work of this though, North. They're defending. Essendon's defensive setup's really good at the moment. It's risky kicks by North to get it out. That's the problem.
Thought about Pittard, but then goes further to Zerha.
They've got to try and get a switch going here, North.
That's a poor kick by Zerha. And the mark is taken by Guelphy, who came back into this Essendon lineup this week. And coming off the bench is Sard, and the little running machine gets it going now. Gives it to one of the new boys in Redmond, and he puts it down the throat of Dyson Heppel.
I tell you what, the Essendon's run-off halfback is slicing the Roos to pieces at the moment.
Yeah, my word it is. And not just the half-back line, their midfield run as well. So North look all at sea, and that's why the opportunities that Mason Woods missed, they really hurt.
Heppel in game number 156. Been a fine player for the Bombers. A career total of 57 goals. He can add to the 2 that he's got so far this season. 45-degree angle. Probably kicking from 49 metres, pulls it to the right. And may, well, in fact, did not trouble the scorer. Quarters.
Out of bounds on the full free kick in the back pocket.
Just a statistic here for, of course, Australian Building Company stats. 6 times they've played on from marks, Essendon, North Melbourne, and none, which is a concern. So the Bombers looking to get the ball moving at all costs.
Pollock goes short to Dumont, who goes back into the defensive goal scorer, and the mark's taken by Thompson, who goes back to the Medallion Club side, or Dockland side, to Pollock, who his kick's partially smothered. Ricochets to Cunnington, who goes back inboard. Eventually they get it. The Kangaroos through a Hearn, who goes towards Zeeble. Great strength by Hurley to do the spoiling. Shark by Merrick. Beautiful quick hands to Shield. Shield gets it off to Stringer. Stringer gives it back to the run of Shield. Not much on offer. He chips and chips brilliantly. Lowered the eyes. Superb kick from Dylan Shield, who was going full tilt, and he's hit Brown on the chest, and he will line up as good as directly in front, only kicking from 35 metres out, and they are slicing the Roos to pieces at the moment. The Bombers just too quick, and Brown should goal from here for Essendon's third.
Well, 83% by foot, the Bombers. That is a sensational statistic.
Mitch Brown. Oh, he's missed two. Too many Easter eggs for breakfast.
We'll have to go down to our man on the boundary there, Mitch Clear, to find if there's a win we don't know about with the roof closed. Oh, look at this. Oh, risky again.
So the score, Essendon 2-4. The Kangaroos 4 behinds, 18 minutes gone, first term on the Toyota Good Footy scoreboard. Here's Sandy Roberts.
Back into play to Atley initially. And an opportunity now for Tarrant to go down the line along the wing.
See
Scott.
See though, the North go back over the man on the mark. Risky kick inside. That's better. Play on.
Yeah, Bailey Scott. Zerha. Back once again to Hall. Atley pops it over the top. Anderson, they're getting there. They are getting there. Cunnington. Wider still. Pittard on the 50. Goes with the left. It's coming back. That's a better looking kick. Pittard gets the goal. North Melbourne get there first.
Well, that is all because Aaron Hall rolled off when he got the ball and didn't go over the man on the mark. He didn't go back and do what they've been doing. He actually rolled off, went around the man on the mark, and then they were able to create run. Once they created a run, a beautiful sweeping handball there by Ben Cunnington. Set up the running Jasper Pittard, I should say.
Beautiful finish.
Finished beautifully.
Yeah.
Good effort that by North.
And they needed it too, Liam.
Oh, my word, they did.
So the Bombers 2-4-16, the Kangaroos 1-4-10, 18 minutes gone at first term on the Toyota scoreboard.
Tell you what you can say, by the way, is that this is a pro North Melbourne crowd.
For Spitwater, Mitch Cleary.
Todd Goldstein back into the middle. Just had those ribs looked at by the doctor. Looks all okay.
Down in the middle. Goldstein, good tap to Cunnington. Whistle, free kick for a hole going North Melbourne's way. And it's going to be taken by Goldstein. He plays on straight away by hand to Higgins, who pumps it long. His target is Brown. He's slightly nudged out of position there. Essendon have numbers at the ball, and heading straight for the boundary was Redmond. Umpire says throw it in.
What's Higgins had so far?
Yeah, I haven't heard him called, so that's only his third disposal.
Very quiet.
A couple of those inside, of course.
Yeah.
So at the northern end, Kangaroos into attack. Throw in. Brown against Bell-Chambers. Bell-Chambers won. Yes. Cunnington's in there. Grabbed the footy and he's missed from 15 metres out. Although, fair to say, he was under a lot of pressure. He missed to the right. So plenty of chances for the Roos there. 1-5-11. Essendon 2-4-16. 20 and a half gone first term.
Yeah, Bombers have also wasted some chances here, though. In fairness, it's not just
Yep. It was a bit of a wasteful kick from McGrath, beating Tip and Woody over the boundary line. So a throw in North's attacking zone, who've settled, but their kicking for goal is letting them down. String of handballs, finishes with Pittard once again, up towards the pocket. No clean mark. There may be a free kick here.
Yeah, against Brown for a chop of the arm, Sandy.
Yeah, so going the way of Hooker. On the last line of defence now, he's got Danaher as a target. And here comes Smokin' Joe. One grab, not enough. In trouble was Scott. Tarrant tries to get it out. Cunnington doing the tackling and doing it really well. That's what he does. But the umpire saying a little high.
Yeah.
So McGrath decides on a switch, and so that is on, and Sard will be the runner who'll take it away for the Bombers.
To the city side of the ground, beautiful delivery to Redmond. Not sure about the man bun.
I am sure they're no good.
They are no good. As Brown comes into the picture for the Kangaroos. He can't control it. Essendon regain possession. A kick to half forward is good. It's marked by Brown. City side of the ground, looking for some support, decides to play on himself, goes long, Danaher against Thompson. Thompson got into his back, spills to Danaher, Danaher goals! From 15 metres out, Essendon fans go mad. Danaher gets his first for the season. The Bombers get their third. 3-4-22. North Melbourne 1-5-11. 22 gone first turn on the Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard. Our red energy expert is Liam Pickering.
Yeah, well done, Big Joe. He got a one-on-one with Thompson. He's too big. He's very mobile, isn't he, Joe Danaher? It went over his head. He played it well at ground level and was able to snap it around the corner. A real confident start there for the big man.
22 and a half minutes gone in this first quarter on the Kubota drive time sale clock, and a good quarter of footy despite some errant kicking for goal.
Oh, it's been fast, Andy.
Hasn't it? Good. Been a ripper.
Yeah, plenty of action. It's
We probably should have had 4 more goals in the game.
Yeah. Both sides have missed easy opportunities, but yeah, the speed of the contest and the tackling's been outstanding.
Goldstein and Tarrant and Bell Chambers again. They're winning and starting to win it out of the middle now as I speak. McKenna has other ideas and prevents the Polak thrust. Now Fantasia gets the hand pass wide. This is dangerous. McDonald tipping Woody. Couldn't complete the mark. McMillan was behind him. He gets claimed by Parrish. Goes to ground. Ruse defending grimly. Sam Wright back into the side. A shocking kick from Sam. Myers has the footy. He gets claimed. Parrish was shoved out of the way. It's tough, it's tight, and it's hard. And there's going to be a free kick. It's going the way of Essendon. It's going to be taken by Fantasia, who is too far out to score. So he'll just pop it up to the top of the square. He wants Danaher, who flew perhaps a fraction early. Now there's been a whistle.
Off the ball.
Off the ball.
The furthest umpire off the ball is called 3 to North.
Advantage paid.
Advantage is being paid, so Scott is away. Now what's happening? It's coming all the way back.
You have to bring it right back.
Higgins is mystified. Scott returns the footy, and North will go back to full back.
So it's against Danaher for unrealistic attempt at the mark, I think.
Which I think it probably was, too.
I know, but why in God's name was it the man 150 metres off the ball called it?
Fair point.
Very strange when there's 2 in the vicinity that neither of them called it.
Thompson at full back. Danaher, the man on the mark. Thompson wants to go to the outer side, and he does.
I like the way the Bombers sitting up defensively here. They're making it very difficult for North. They have to take a risk here if they're going to kick over the man on the mark or go right down the line.
Good Friday football. Bombers lead 22-11 as we near quarter time. The big spike sees the Sharon go back inside 50, overrun by McDonald. Tipping Woody. What was he trying to do with it? Trying to hack it out of mid-air, I think.
I'm not sure. That was a bit of what I call show pony stuff.
It sure was. And now McMillan brings it out for the Kangaroos. He's got options everywhere. He dishes off the handball to Ahern. Ahern the handball went over the head. It was a poor option, picked up by Simkin. Simkin gets it over to Davies-Uniacke. Davies-Uniacke to Goldstein. Swings onto the left. Goldstein should goal, but he's missed again.
Well, Goldie, there were 3 blokes who could have dished up a handball who were running towards goal, big man, and you thought you were Joe Danaher for a minute. As we had a look at that stuff by McDonald, Tippett, Woody, that's going to go down like a lead balloon.
Yeah, that was very lazy.
He tried to do something with his foot.
He tried to back heel it. Wow, that's going to go down. Seriously, back.
Tarrant completed the mark, but there's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go the way of his teammate in Scotty Thompson.
He's been good, Scott Thompson.
Thompson goes to Tarrant again, short.
Well, a lot of blokes standing there in the north forward of their arms there. They're not really moving though.
Pulls that. Well, it's a strange kick. I mean, it was awful, but strange at the same time. Brown takes the mark from Bagley.
He got away with one of them last week, and he looked pretty.
From McGrath, I'm sorry.
He looked pretty cool doing it.
Hooker.
Didn't look so cool then. Looked like a bit of a goose.
Kyle Hooker tucked in the back pocket towards Bagley, and Polak at the back was Joe. Couldn't hold it, and we've got a throw in. 26 minutes gone. Anderson having a spell. Cunnington coming back into the fray. Goldstein, front spot. McGrath, Myers. They took it from Merritt initially. Flicks down towards half forward. McMillan.
Oh,
Didn't get a kind bounce. No, he didn't, I'm afraid. Now an opportunity for hand, but there's been a whistle. And that's an interesting one. McMillan has been given a free kick.
Sliding rule.
That's a softie.
Yeah.
But Jane and Miller waited for the ball to bounce. He had to attack that ball in the half volley.
Very lucky free kick to the Roos as McMillan goes long down the line. Right down the Medallion Club side. That's a ripping mark taken by Bell Chambers in front of Brown. Bell Chambers dangerously switches, but it's a perfect kick and it finds Heppel inside defensive 50. And he's going to bring the ball out wide to the City side with another perfect kick. Marked here by Merritt, who swings back onto the left. Kicks towards Brown, overcooked the kick, but front and centre was Sard. Quick hands to Brown, to Merritt, run down, holding the ball. Prior opportunity. Umpire says play on. Should be a free kick to North Melbourne.
Now it is.
And there's the evener upper. And there's the siren.
Oh, dear.
So a very entertaining first quarter. Played at a cracking pace. Both teams missed many opportunities, and at the first break, it's Essendon 3-4-22, leading North Melbourne 1-6-12 for the Bombers. All singles to McGrath, Fantasia and Joe Danaher, while the solitary goal scorer for the Kangaroos is Jasper Pittard. So quarter time, Friday night football. Good Friday football, in fact. It's 3-4-22. What are you laughing at, Pickers?
Well, it's not really night time yet.
Well, it's dark outside.
No, it's dark inside. I don't think it's dark outside. It's quarter to 5, man.
Friday night.
That's Friday night.
Well, let's talk
It's
about it in
evening,
the last
Friday
quarter.
evening.
That's it. It's on. 3-4-22 Essendon, North Melbourne 1-6-12. It's Good Friday football. It's almost night.